I'm Tracy Baxter with today's Record Newswatch. Saying it's an area of Orange County law enforcement that has been overlooked for too long, District Attorney David Hoovler today announced the results of what he labeled an unprecedented crackdown on welfare cheats during a Goshen news conference today. A total of 36 people face charges of grand larceny and welfare fraud for illegally receiving more than $337,000 in public assistance benefits from programs including Medicaid and food stamps. The arrests, the result of an investigation that involved the DA's office, the Orange County Sheriff's Department, and the County Department of Social Services. Hoovler says it's hoped the arrest acted as a deterrent and send a message.
We have to send a clear message to the citizens of this county that this type of fraud will not be tolerated. Because when this fraud is occurring, what's happening is, for every person that's getting this, and these 36 people here didn't deserve it, they're taking it away from somebody who needs it to get back on their feet, and we are not going to tolerate it.
Hoovler says what isn't helping enforcement efforts is the lack of documentation that's needed to obtain public benefits, making it easier for people to file false claims.
The system has been so streamlined that you can receive benefits without documentation based upon your word, based upon filling out an online application, based upon something taken over the telephone. It becomes almost impossible for us to prosecute those cases down the road because there's just no documentation that's sufficient in order for us to make a litigation-ready case provable beyond a reasonable doubt in a court. So what has to happen here is, while the system has to be accessible and it has to be fast-moving to reach those who need the benefits, there has to be some kind of safeguards put in for the taxpayers of this county, for the taxpayers of this state.
Orange County Executive Steve Newhouse said his office will make the prosecution of public benefits fraud a priority by pursuing the formation of a fraud detection unit in the county to help close loopholes. Hoovler says we can expect 1 or 2 sweeps like this every year. More than 30 of the 36 people rounded up in this sweep are women, partly the result of a crackdown on those illegally obtaining daycare benefits. In Ulster County, a man employed as a residential counselor at Cerebral Palsy of Ulster County in Lake Katrine has been charged with endangering the welfare of an incompetent or physically disabled person. State police say an investigation revealed that 25-year-old Robert Jansen of Lake Katrine had placed a client in danger of being harmed by using unnecessary force during his care. The State Justice Center will continue with an administrative investigation concerning the conduct of the employee. The client did not sustain any injuries in the incident. Developers for 2 proposed Orange County casino projects got the local backing they needed last night to be able to apply for a state casino license by next Monday's deadline. In the town of Tuxedo, the town board approved a resolution in support of the Sterling Forest Resort proposal that, if selected, would allow Genting Americas to construct a $400 million casino resort on a 238-acre parcel at the site of Tuxedo Ridge Ski Center and the Renaissance Fair. And just a few miles away, the Woodbury Town Board was voting to support plans drawn up for a $750 million Caesars Entertainment Casino Resort proposed for construction on land off Route 17 near the Harriman train station. The 2 proposals are among 9 projects in the Hudson Valley and Catskills hoping to win a state gaming license. Elsewhere, a violent domestic disturbance ended in Kingston after police were able to arrest the suspect in a boat on Roundout Creek. Kingston police say they were initially called to a report of a domestic dispute in a parked car at the Roundout Gardens apartments. There, they say, 26-year-old Bobby Major, a resident of Down Street in Kingston, had cut a woman with a knife. He then ran off, chased by relatives of the victim. Major then jumped into Roundout Creek near the Hudson River Maritime Museum, where he was helped onto a passing boat by the boat driver, who thought he couldn't swim. Major was arrested on the boat and charged with felony assault and aggravated criminal contempt, along with resisting arrest and criminal possession of a weapon. The 33-year-old female victim was not seriously injured. She was treated at a local hospital for the knife wound. The 2 people who chased Major were charged with disorderly conduct for punching him after he was in police custody. Ground was broken today in the city of Newburgh on a project that will provide workforce housing and home for the developmentally disabled. Independence Square is a 3-story, 74-unit apartment building. It's being built on land at 11 Washington Terrace. Site is owned by its next-door neighbor, the Center for Independent Living. 14 of the units will be for developmentally disabled tenants, the other 60 for workforce housing.
That the city of Newburgh is in desperate need of housing that is affordable and accessible. In fact, our data tells us that the city of Newburgh is short by about 2,000 units. And so we saw an opportunity to provide housing to meet the needs of people who are working class individuals and people with disabilities.
Independence Square is one of 10 projects statewide and was awarded a share of $23 million in state aid to expand the availability of affordable housing. And members of Team Newburgh were at it again yesterday, walking a section of the city, handing out information on available services that are out there to help struggling Newburgh residents. The outreach has been going on for nearly 10 years. Team Newburgh has been using a federal drug-free communities grant to send teams of volunteers into the city's poorest neighborhoods, where they distribute information on services offered by organizations that operate in Newburgh. Catholic Charities Community Services of Orange County oversees the Team Newburgh initiative. Spokesman Martin Colavito says it's a way to connect with people on their level. There may be less of a threat of showers and thunderstorms in the days ahead. Friday's weather will feature a mix of sun and clouds with temperatures reaching the low 80s. Saturday should be partly sunny and pleasant with the highs getting up around 85 degrees. We'll get the news and information to help start your day in the Times-Herald Record, and breaking news is just a click away all day long right here at Record Online. For Record Newswatch, I'm Tracy Baxter.